Hi, everybody, and welcome to the final football edition of Trojan Talk here on BCHS Live. I'm Jay Turner with Barron County head football coach Coach Arnett. The Trojans played their last game of the 2018 season this past Friday night at Edmonson County over in Brownsville, with the Trojans coming home victorious 19-12 over the Wildcats. Barron County finishes the season at 3-7. We're going to break down the game in just a minute, but first, Coach, what a way to end the season, especially for your seniors, on a positive note, and not too many teams can say that they end the season with a win.
Yeah, it was a great way to finish the season, and, we kind of told the guys all week, play like it's your last game, because it is, and they embraced it, and, it wasn't a lot of long faces. They had a good, fun, hard week of practice, and we didn't treat it any differently. We still ran our sprints. We still did that, and we just kind of went about our business, and they were a little more workmanlike, seemed like, and, come out and played a good game, and it showed because they prepared well.
Well, let's break down the game. The game was scoreless through the first quarter, a very quick first quarter. It just seemed like there's 12-minute quarters, and it took about 15 minutes to play it.
Yeah, both teams kind of had the same agenda. Both teams tried to run the ball, and we felt like we could throw it, but we wanted to establish the ground game first, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that.
At 8:30 to go in the first half, Edmonson County was able to score first on a 2-yard run, and that was by their quarterback, leading rusher John Smith. And then with 4:06 left in the second quarter, we scored on a 24-yard run, and that was by Tyler Bush. And then Aiden Nyken kicked the extra point, and we go on top 7-6.
Yeah, we were talking to the guys and said we need an attitude series, and that's kind of what we kept telling them. And basically what that means is if they punch you, you punch back immediately and punch back harder. And we started running some things that we had done early, and they hadn't worked much for us, so we hadn't really abandoned them. But we started running counter a lot, which hadn't been great for us. But we found something they didn't like, and we hit them with counter a bunch. And what I thought we did a good job of was getting the ball to a lot of different guys, and something that you're not going to look in the stat sheet and realize how good Jamarcus Smiley played, but every time he went somewhere, 2 guys followed, and it took another guy out of the box, and it opened things up for guys like Gavin and Tyler and Karsten and everyone. It opened it up for everyone, and I thought we were really, really good on the edge, blocking on the edge. If we everybody knows when Tyler breaks one, he's bouncing and going, so our guys stayed on blocks. But we really got the ground game going, and that is what opened everything else up. When we started having success running the ball, everything was on the table then.
Edmonson County with the football as time was running down before the half. We intercept a pass, and that kept us with that 7-6 lead at the half.
Yeah, Landon Neal made a great play on the ball. They tried to throw one across the middle of the field. He jumped it, made a great play, and got us in position where we were thinking 3 cheap ones there at the end, and he got us down there close to where we could even think about it. So he did a good job.
Another scoreless quarter in the third, and another quick quarter, and then in the fourth, with 8:14 left, it was Zach Johnson that threw that long pass to Karsten Chelson, and 2 plays later, Johnson scores on a 13-yard run and made it 13-6 Trojans with 7:25 left.
Yeah, we thought we would have. We called that play thinking that we would have Tyler in the flat. They hadn't really covered him much. We had been hitting him with some stuff, and the same big play we broke against Adair is what we called there, and the one he scored, I think it was 20-something yard touchdown. We called it again, our little slice pass, and we thought we would have Tyler, but they didn't. And Zach made a great read and threw it to Karsten, who ran a great route. He broke on a high angle so Zach could throw him down, just like we talked about, and that set us up. And man, Karsten had 2 big catches, catches, and he's been reliable all year. But Zach made a good throw, and then the touchdown was actually an outside zone play. We give our guys the option to make a read, and he can pull it and keep it. We've got blockers both ways, and Zach made the right read. Linebacker left the box, and he pulled it, and it was blocked well.
Then we forced Edmonson County to punt on their next possession. Then we marched it downfield. Gaines put Johnson, Bush, and Gavin Withrow. Then with 1:17 left, we faced a 4th and short near the end zone, and then Johnson threw that short pass about 3 yards, I think it was, to Tyler Bush in the end zone, and that made it 19-6, and a lot of excitement at that point.
Yeah, we did a great job running the ball again there, and it's funny, a lot of Kentucky fans talk about why don't you give the ball to this guy on the goal line or whatever, and we were in that situation where we had ran the ball so effectively. Edmonton loaded the box. They had 8 guys or 9 guys in the box, and we were going to give it to Gavin, and then we called the timeout, realized that, hey, they know what's coming, so we ran a play that actually we had ran once earlier in the game but had never practiced. We called it in the game. We thought we would have it. The way our offensive system works, we should be able to call something we've never ran, and they will know how to execute it just based on how the wording is, and that's pretty much what we did. And like I said, we had never ran it before, never practiced it, and we popped a 10 or 12-yard play with it earlier. And sure enough, everybody flew to Gavin. Gavin made a great fake. Zach rode it hard, tossed it to Tyler, and once again, unbelievable blocking on the edge by Karsten, and I think it was Landon. It was Landon or Caleb who was over there, and just a great job by them, and that's what got us in. He could have walked in if he wanted,
Right.
So it was very well executed by them.
Then,
by us.
Right. And then Edmonson County, I think it was John Smith, the quarterback. He scored again with about 3 seconds left in the game, and, of course, that made it 19-12. We stopped them on the 2-point conversion, but just a great ending to the season. What did you tell your team following the game?
Well, prior to that, there was a lot of hoopla going on, and, and it was something we had talked about. We had finished drives. Now we're trying to tell them to finish the game because we had some kids coming off the field saying it's over, and we're in no way, shape, or form trying to say that, and so we were really hammering home to them, let's finish the game. It's not over. Let's keep them out of the end zone. And so I have a habit of not looking at the scoreboard in that situation. I just, I just want to keep coaching as hard as I can till the horn goes off, and we'll do better with that, But what our guys did was, what I told them is that they were the ones that have made the improvement. Went from 1 win to 3, and they did that. All we can do is call plays and tell them to do this or that. They've got to go do it, and they did it. That was that's a team that beat Adair, who beat us. So they had won 4 or 5 games, and just a good jump start for us, and I told talked to the seniors, told them we loved them and everything, and then talked to the guys coming back and told them that it's their time now, and it's, their off-season starts right now, and it's time to, get a little rest. We're giving them a little break here till after Christmas, and then we're going to come back after Christmas and hit it hard.
Stats for the game Friday night, Barron County with 284 total yards, 39 carries, 213 yards, 7 of 12 passing for 71 yards. We had 18 first downs, 5 penalties for 55 yards, and no turnovers. Edmonson County had 239 total yards, 40 carries for 182, and they were 5 of 11 through the air for 57 yards and 1 interception. They had 11 first downs, 6 penalties for 35 yards, and 1 turnover. And this, Coach, this team that we've had this year, the seniors especially, gone through a lot with all road games last year, and then we get a new stadium and get new turf this year. And to win the final game of the season for this team, especially for the seniors, a job well done.
Yeah, well, it was what they did. They prepared, and we got better as the year went on, and we're leaps and bounds better than we were when we first started, and it's kind of odd. Someone mentions, you've still not had a normal year yet. Really, last year we're all the way. This year we're 7 games at home, no playoff. We've still not had it's kind of been 2 abnormal years, and the guys could have let that affect them, but they didn't, and
right.
they pushed through and finished, and that's what we asked them to do, is finish, and that's what they did.
I know you had 11 seniors, and we had 9 of them on the show last week. The only 2 we did not have on were Jericho Pope, who didn't get to play most of the season due to an injury, and Cameron Hurt had another commitment. But it was good to have all the other seniors on and going into that last game last week.
Yep.
Coach, going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll discuss next season. We'll have a new schedule, a new class, a new district, and a whole lot more. Trojan Talk continues after this break on BCHS Live.
You're watching BCHS Live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. BCHS Live is a student-led live online video production program started in 2015 by 4 BCHS freshmen. The BCHS Live program is here to showcase everything going on at BCHS, from athletics to special events and opportunities to ceremonies and celebrations. The BCHS Live program is here to show everyone in our community what BCHS is all about, and with 3 major online outputs of our broadcasts, we truly live up to our motto: everything BCHS, anywhere you want it.
The Burgundy Media Network, or BMN for short, is a network of Barron County High School's 3 major media outlets: 88.7 FM, Trojan Radio, BCHS Live, and the Trojan Times school newspaper. As a whole, we are determined to provide you with BCHS news, sports, and interest like never before. Check out our weekly newscast broadcasted every Friday from within Barron County High School, or check out our website at barronschools.com/BMN. From all of us to you, we thank you for your support of all things BCHS. The Trojan Thread School Spirit Store is the #1 place to find any and all things BCHS, with a wide selection of clothes including hoodies, t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, and polos, to everyday items including pens, pencils, notebooks, and stickers, to jewelry including earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and wristbands. So stop by the Trojan Thread Store any weekday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or during any home varsity basketball game. The Trojan Thread School Spirit Store, keeping Barron County in style.
Heading into the second year from an approximate 12-year hiatus, the Trojan Times has an all-new look and an all-new approach to bringing you BCHS happenings. We are an entirely student-based publication working more than ever this year to inform you with BCHS happenings. I'm Brennan Crane, Editor-in-Chief, and I can say that we are thrilled to showcase BCHS in a whole new way. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at BC Trojan Times. You won't want to miss this. Go BC!
Back with more of our final football edition of Trojan Talk for this year. Next year, the Trojans move up to Class 6A and compete with District 2, Central Hardin, North Hardin, and Meade County, which guarantees us a playoff spot. There'll be 4 teams in that district, and where we'll be matched up with District 4 teams: Bullitt East, Louisville Fern Creek, Louisville Male, and Louisville Southern. And then the following year, we'll be teamed up with Butler, Manual, PRP, and St. X. Practically a new schedule overall, which we'll talk about in a minute. But first, Coach, talk about the new class and the new district we're going to be in. An overall state realignment for a whole lot of teams.
Yeah, a lot of teams are moving around, and we'll be in the 6A District 2, and I'm familiar with it. That's where I came. That's where I was before I was here. So I've been around a lot of those teams and seen a lot of what we got to do. And we got a lot of work to do. We got to build some depth before we get there and do that kind of thing. And we're going to have a totally different look next year schedule wise.
Right.
So that's good. I'm glad. I'm not much for repetitive, but I like our schedule. I think it's favorable, and a new district, new opportunities, and new teams to play, new things to game plan for, and there's not that looming of the powers in that same district like there always are.
Exactly. In
the district we were in, to win it you got to beat 2 perennial state powers.
Oh, yeah.
So 3 now with Christian County moving in.
Yeah, they're moving into that district. A lot of people would have assumed that we'd be matched up with the western part of the state like we have for the last ever how many years, but the KHS AA decided to do something different. So that's how it's all. We're going to break it down here. An example this year, Ohio County is moving down to 5A next year, and they play St. X in the 6A playoffs tomorrow night.
Right. So
Central Hardin plays Louisville Butler. Meade County plays Louisville Male, and North Hardin plays Manual. But it's going to change. This is it. Ohio County dropping back to 5A next year. Then the teams in the western part of the state. This year, Muhlenberg's playing at Trinity. Henderson County's at Eastern. Davis County's at Ballard. And McCracken plays at J-Town.
What's that? I said I'll be at that one.
You'll be at that. Davis County at Ballard? Okay. All right, let's talk about the new schedule. We're going to have 6 home games. We'll have 4 away games next year, beginning with the first game, August 23rd, 2019, at Metcalfe County. I have never done a football game at Metcalfe County at the new school. Now, I did at the old school when they had, I guess the elementary now, where they had the little press box down there. But I've never, it's been 20-some years since I did a game at Metcalfe County at the newer field.
Yeah, we wanted to, LJ and our friends, we wanted to, we thought it was a game that both teams wanted to play, and of course they played for years in the Scotty Bowl,
right?
Am I right?
Yep.
So, and neither of us are in that anymore, so we decided we was just going to start playing week 1 again, and I think it's a good matchup for both teams. We got some guys on staff who used to coach there, and so 2 teams, 2 programs that are familiar with each other, and big. I like that. They like it. It's going to be a good way to kind of get back to a traditional week 1 game.
Right. They play with, or they're going to be in a district with Clinton County, Edmonson County, Greene County, and Monroe County next year. So a little different setup there. Second game of the season on August 30th, 2019 will be a home game, and it'll be a bowl game. A new team on the schedule, and I don't think we've ever played the Bearcats of Anderson County. If we did in basketball, maybe. I can't remember, though. And they were 10-0 going to their 5A playoff game this week.
Yeah, good program. We wanted to get someone that would kind of bring. We're going to have a bowl game. It'll be 2 games. We'll play Anderson, and then Monroe will play Hart, and then next year Monroe will play Anderson, and we'll play Hart County.
Okay.
So that's I guess us and Monroe are kind of the host schools how you do it, and Anderson's going to be good. I feel like they're gonna. I think they are gonna, lose some seniors, but they're always a pretty good team. Be a good challenge for us. Find out where we're at going into the next year.
Now they're going to drop from 5A to 4A next year, and they're going to play with Bourbon, Boyle, and Lexington Catholic in their district.
Have fun.
So now you talk about Monroe and Hart County. Will that game be first before ours, or we? Okay, we'll always play the second game when we're hosting a bowl game.
Yeah.
Any sponsors for that yet in the making?
We've got them. We're working on them, putting committees together, doing that kind of thing.
Okay.
So.
Then week 3 has the Trojans hosting Adair County. They're back on the schedule, one of 4 teams that'll be back on the schedule next year, and a team, they're going to return a lot of players just like we are.
Yeah, another team we're familiar with, and hadn't had any success against them the last 2 years, so we need to try to get back on track with them.
And they're going to be in 3A with Casey. Casey County drops to 3A. Glasgow, who moves to 3A. Hart County and Taylor County. Taylor drops to 3A next year. That's a tough district for them. Then we go to Tompkinsville.
Never been there.
Pretty familiar territory to all of us. The Monroe County Falcons, and, of course, that was one of our wins this year. And they're going to be in a district with Metcalfe, Clinton, Edmonson, and Greene, which I mentioned a little bit ago. And how many seniors – I didn't check to see how many seniors they have this year.
They lose some key positions, but they're going to return. I think Georgie's been playing quarterback for them, so they'll be a little different look. So they'll be
Murphy graduates, right?
And Stinson.
Yeah.
So Monroe's Monroe. So we're going to have to.
Yep.
It's going to be a dogfight
over there, especially. Yep. Then another new team on the 2019 schedule next year, the Hancock County Hornets. That's going to be a home game for us.
A team, honestly, I don't know a whole lot about other than what their record has been the last few years. Other than that, I don't know much about them. I know it's a long way away.
Yeah. Is that a two-year deal? Okay, so we'll have to go to Hancock year after next then. Butler County, McLean County, Todd Central, Owensboro Catholic is their district next year. So that's how they line up. Then on September 27th, we'll head to Gator Alley, take on the Greenwood Gators, and they lose 20 seniors after this season. And, boy, what kind of district they're going to be in.
Yeah, Greenwood's a game we've played that one for a while, I would assume, and we just – we needed a week 6, they needed a week 6, so we just decided to keep playing, So again, two teams familiar with each other.
Bowling Green, South Warren, Christian County moves on that district. Wow. Talk about some tough games coming up. Following week is fall break, and then after that we begin our new Class 6A District 2 schedule. First game hosting the Bruins of Central Hardin. And looking at their roster, they lose 17 seniors.
Yeah, they're going to be very physical. I've seen them play, with my own two eyes last year, I believe it was, and they're going to be, they're kind of a wing team, kind of reminds you of Greenwood, but Coach Mattingly, he's been there for a long time, does a good job, and they're going to, they're going to be physical. I think they're usually kind of the team in that district, from what I understand.
Yeah. And then we'll host North Hardin, the Trojans, in a district game the following week, and they lose 18 seniors.
Right. North is always going to be really athletic. They're always really athletic, and so that's going to be a challenge to kind of slow down their speed, and that's that's what we know about them, is they're going to have some speed. But I feel like we will too. So. Yeah.
The last district regular season game, October the 25th, and be on the road in Brandenburg, taking on the Green Wave of Meade County. I remember going there to broadcast a game. It's probably been about 20 years ago since we played them. Yeah, I think 1999 and 2000 were the last 2 seasons that we played Meade County, and I remember going there, and they lose 18 seniors.
Everybody's losing a lot of seniors. Huh? Meade's physical. They're going to be physical. I've never coached against them or anything, but they, you hear talk, and they're just always real physical. So
yeah, so that's the 3 district games next year: Central Hardin, North Hardin, and Meade County. 6A.
That's right.
You can't go up any higher than 6A.
Nope.
Final regular season game before the playoffs will be a home game with Edmonson County, and they'll have several key players back next year.
Yeah, be a good test for us. We'll get them over here finally. Get to actually play them here, and same with Dare. But we'll that'll be another good test for us before we go head into the playoffs.
Right.
Much more. I like the schedule. I think it's much more favorable for us. You got 3 district games instead of 4 district games, which is always better. And it's a new look and teams to compete against, and I think a district we can compete in.
Well, let's talk about next year's Trojans, and you're going to have a lot of guys back next season, and I think right now, if you look at the starting offense and defense that we had last week, you're going to have 9 returning on offense, 8 on defense. We'll talk about the offense first. You're going to have to replace your quarterback, Zach Johnson.
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 young ones that come up and are going to fight for it, but we're comfortable. We're excited about both. Whatever happens, we like them both. I like what I've seen. Jamison Bowie came on at the end of this year and was really good for someone who had never played football. And he's a baseball kid. He spins it well, throws it well, and does a lot of things we like. He's faster than people think. He can run a little bit, a lot more athletic. And what he or the other guys, whoever wins the job, is going to have the advantage of having seniors and juniors everywhere, and most of the juniors are 2-year starters, 3-year starters. We'll be good and athletic up front. I feel like we're going to have a bunch of receivers. Yeah, and several good backs. Defensively, bring back a lot. Bring back most of the secondary. Lose Tanner. Right. I think you'll see some new faces on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. You're talking about the line. You're going to have virtually the entire line back on offense next year. Campbell Ross, Easton Frazier, Cody Rogers, Jordan Riddle, Hunter Wilson. And the receivers, Jamarcus Miley, Karsten Chelson, even Jackson Coots. Your running back, Tyler Bush. And your kicker, Aiden Niken on offense.
Long snapper, kicker, and holder.
So
all freshmen this year.
Yeah.
and we're good.
Yeah. Yep. And then on defense, you do lose a couple of linemen, Cameron Hurt and Wyatt Pettigo. And then you mentioned Tanner, defensive back. But you've got Ross, Frazier, Coots, Bush, Joe Bradshaw, Jake Gill, Peyton Schartzer, Landon Neal all come back next year.
Yeah, we're just we're going to bring back a lot. But we've been having exit meetings this week, and we told everyone that come in our office, look, guys, you're not a starter anymore. You're going to have to earn that spot back. You started last year, but last year's over, and every spot on both sides of the ball is completely open for grabs, and we have a lot more depth. I've got a big freshman class coming in, and, everyone's going to have to compete, and that's the beauty of it is every single day someone is going to have to win. Someone can win or lose their job every day, and that's what makes good football programs is the competition every day at every position, because it takes out complacency. If no one's behind you can take your spot, you're going to get complacent. You're not going to bring it, and you're not going to get any better. But if you've got somebody pushing you, especially young guys, we've proven we'll play with young guys. I don't care. I'm going to play whoever produces, and and that they know that. So I think we had a little more of that this year. We had some competition in some places, and it brought out the best in guys, and we should have a lot more next year, and they're going to have to start. We talked to them. We all gave them their goals for their maxes and everything, and they're going to have to hit those goals if they want to, have a chance at competing in a 6A district.
That's right. New district, new class, new schedule, a lot of players back. What about your coaching staff? You need to recognize them, mention them. Did a good job for you this year.
Did a great job. I couldn't do it without them. And I'm not going to mention anything because I know I will leave someone out on accident. But I'll try it anyway. Coach Muse did a great job all year. He kind of his staff is what I call it, my staff and his staff, because Coach Muse, Coach London, Coach Harlan and Coleman, and Coach Chapman on that side of the ball, and then Coach Perkins, Coach Eaton, Coach Brand, my brother Lincoln, and who am I forgetting?
I don't think you left anybody off. You had 9 assistants.
11.
11
10,
assistants.
I think. We've got so many I can't keep up with them. But everybody.
It's good to have that many.
Everybody did their part, and everybody did a good job.
Chad Eaton.
Yeah, I think I said.
Did you mention him?
Yeah. Hey, Chad. But they did a good job of coming to work every day and bringing energy to every position, and that's what we need. We've got a lot of coaches because we want more guys to get more reps and more time. So we're happy with it, and we'll see what happens going forward. And I like our staff. So,
any other comments before we want to wrap up things for this season?
Thanks for the support, and be prepared to hang with us again next year because we should have a lot of fun. I think it'll be a different look, a lot of different things going on, but it should be really fun. A lot of guys that you're familiar with, but honing their skills over the offseason, getting better. So we're excited about it. We're excited for the new challenges, a normal season, finally, normal season that we can play, and we're just ready to get going and get started.
And it'll be rolling around again before you know it.
Be here before you know it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I've enjoyed working with you again this season, and as always, we look forward to next season.
Sir.
All right. A reminder, the BCHS Live will have a preseason basketball Trojan Talk with coaches Piper Lindsay and Warren Cunningham on Monday, November the 26th. That'll start at 6 o'clock and will air on the local cable channels and also BCHS Live. So make sure you tune in and watch that. That's going to wrap up this final edition for this football season of Trojan Talk for Coach Jackson Arnett and the BCHS Live video team. I'm Jay Turner. Thanks for watching.